Hey, what is up, everybody? Steve Breach coming to you. I wanted to make a video before I made my full-on review of the show later on tonight when I get some time after I'm done eating dinner and hanging out and doing some shit. I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of wrestling this week, so I was really looking forward to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view tonight. Didn't get a chance to watch Impact on Thursday. Didn't get a chance to watch SmackDown on Friday. I still want to go back and watch one thing, the Sin Cara Ziggler thing. From there, except for that, the pay-per-view's already happened, and I saw the pay-per-view, so I guess screw that. I'm not going to watch that from SmackDown. I can go ahead and erase that off the DVR. But tonight, Money in the Bank was decided for you know, there's no real brands anymore. Everybody's on every fucking show. It doesn't really matter, but to me, they still have the red briefcase and the blue briefcase, mostly to me to signify Raw and SmackDown. I know nobody comes out and they have the Raw versus SmackDown matches anymore. We haven't even had a draft in a couple of years now. But to me, I love the days of you had the Raw guys, you had the SmackDown guys, and every once in a while you had like a bragging rights or a Survivor Series match and they showed up. So to me, I always call one the Raw Money in the Bank match and one the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. I think that's the reason why they signify which one's red and which one's blue to go along with which belt goes along with which show, even though it's clusterfuck and it doesn't really matter anymore. Tonight's Money in the Bank, the future stars, tipped off the show. I didn't get a chance to watch the show, but one of the coolest things they did, I apologize, I didn't get a chance to watch the pre-show, but one of the coolest things I heard from following people on Twitter that were actually watching it, that it actually was a really, really good match. And it was really, really cool that, you know, at the end of the show, they actually showed the first few guys come out for their entrances, for the entrance to the pay-per-view. And I'm sure some people were, you know, marking out, like sitting in front of their YouTube thing, like, oh my god, they forgot to cut off the stream, thinking that the show was going to keep on going on, like they, you know, forgot to turn off the pay-per-view stream and you're going to be able to watch it on YouTube for free. I'm sure some people out there thought about doing that, but the match included Sandow, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Fandango, Jack Swagger, and Antonio Cesaro. Out of all of this, Damien Sandow won this match. Damien Sandow, to me, honestly, right off the bat, is one of the worst guys who ever hold a Money in the Bank briefcase. To me, this is just about the same amount of thing if just tons of funk won this. I mean, Brodus Clay might as well be walking around with that Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't see anything in Damien Sandow. I don't want to be one of the guys that I hate on here that just make videos, that just hate on everything constantly, over and over, that WWE does. In 2010, people always were wanting a different change of pace. They gave us 2 new champions that time. It was the first time they'd done that in a long time. They gave us champions like Jack Swagger and Sheamus became a world champion for the first time that year, and just people hated it. They just didn't want to see something new, but yet that's what they were complaining about, was something new, something new. And I'm in that same place too. I watch Raw continuously. I watch SmackDown. I watch Main Event like it's the freaking church hour on Sunday morning. I love wrestling, and you know, even though I know in my heart that it's not the best stuff in the world that they're putting on TV right now, I know I'm not going anywhere, so, you know, I'm not going to waste my time complaining about it. I don't want to be that one person trying to tear everything down, but I just do not see anything in Damien Sandow. Yeah, he comes out, he's a big, you know, smart guy, but we've seen this gimmick over and over routinely. You know, there's been the Genius, there's been Shane Douglas. It's just been beaten to death. And how this guy, if it comes down to it, I know that, like, you can't say he's going to be the first guy to lose the Money in the Bank briefcase. But, you know, when not Jack Swagger, when John Cena cashed in last year against CM Punk on Raw 1000, it was a disqualification loss. Honestly, I see Sandow as being the first guy to take the pinfall for a loss. And I know just because he has the briefcase now does not mean that immediately at SummerSlam he's going to go off for the title. I know from a lot of other people have already said, you know, Randy Orton winning the other one, that it's going to be Randy Orton versus John Cena for the, you know, the 1000th time. But, you know, I don't think we've seen a Randy Orton versus John Cena match. I know they had a match on Raw in 2010-ish that actually Randy won. He turned the FU into an RKO and he won that match. They were both faces at the time. I remember that like it was yesterday. I don't think they've had a match since then, at least a one-on-one match. And I can't remember I'm not the best guy with years, but I want to say at least like 2006, 2007. So it's been 6 years since we've seen Cena versus Orton. I know I hated it then, but I hated a lot of shit Randy Orton was doing. Let's at least see what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, and let's see how that puts together. But, when you ran down all the guys that have held, the Money in the Bank briefcase, they've all shot themselves higher up on the card. And I just don't see where Damien Sandow is going to go. Edge had the first one. Edge cashed in on that New Year's Revolution pay-per-view. And it was like, is that allowed? Is that what this is for? We had never seen the Money in the Bank briefcase used before. And when Vince McMahon came out at the end of the pay-per-view after John Cena had already been in an Elimination Chamber match, it was just crazy. Mr. Kennedy won his Money in the briefcase, but due to injury, he wasn't able to cash his in. He lost his match to Edge. And Kennedy was on the verge of becoming a big star. I know he eventually came back from that injury, got fired, and he's been in TNA and never really reached his potential. But honestly, if he had his WWE machine behind him, he'd be right there. And Kennedy's a guy that I wish would be coming over from TNA, much like RVD did tonight. We all know what CM Punk did. We all know what Jack Swagger did. Swagger, honestly, I can be a little bit biased with. But honestly, I think he's a bigger star being that World Heavyweight Champion. A lot of people are forgetful of him winning and everything. But it made him a bigger star in my mind. And it just was able to have that moment of, yes. Kane wasn't my favorite guy to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase. He didn't hold it all that long. He cashed against Rey Mysterio. I hated it at the moment, but the matches that he had with Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship in 2010 was just by far awesome. Everybody knows what happened to Miz. He became a huge star, and then he lost it. Daniel Bryan was huge. Dolph Ziggler finally cashed in, and we're seeing right now the basis of if he is going to become a big star or not right now. He had the match with Del Rio tonight. John Cena wasn't able to win it in his match. But Damien Sandow, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of his mic work. I'm not a fan of his ring work. We've all known that they've pretty much forgotten about him on the roster for the past however many months this is. We're 6-7 months into there. And honestly, the last time he had any momentum was going into the Royal Rumble. He lost that match. We saw Rhodes and honestly, I should have seen this coming with all the fucking promos they did. I remember that's how I was able to claim that I knew Swagger was going to win at 26, which is that last promo on Monday Night Raw, where I was just like, he's saying too many things that I know he's going to win. And with them saying that, they were, on Monday saying that they weren't a team anymore, and then him coming out, Sandow saying how strong of a team they were, should have even seen them breaking up even sooner or later. But, you gotta believe that there's no way in the world you can save it, and Cody Rhodes becoming the face out of this match, it should be huge. I mean, Cody was by far, him and Dana Bryan, fuck, I keep fucking up. Cody Rhodes and freaking Wade Barrett were the two stars of this match. Wade Barrett breaking off a rung on the ladder, running around, hitting everybody with it. You can see that he just really, really wanted to have this. Luke Cage said it best at the end of the show. I mean, he said it after one ladder match, and he said it after the other. Nobody picked these fuckers to win, and they won it all. And we're going to have to see what happens. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the worst thing in the world, but I'm just saying that I honestly think, on paper, Sandow is the worst guy to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase. I know that I'm pretty biased, and people are going to come at me saying that, Swagger didn't do anything to really, improve that, but he made that Monday Night Raw after a whole lot better. I mean, I know that the feud never really got off the ground with him, Jericho, and Edge. It was all about Jericho versus Edge. Then he went into that feud with Big Show as the World Heavyweight Champion. He was able to get out of that. He did beat Randy Orton, but he lost to freaking Rey Mysterio. And never was able to get the ground on that going again. But he did get to have a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 29, so maybe they can save him again. But till later tonight, peace out, everybody.